Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we're all about building wealth, achieving financial freedom, and doing it in a way that's simple and practical. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful concepts in finance, something that could completely transform your financial future, the magic of compounding. But hold on, if you're thinking, wait, isn't compounding just a bunch of numbers and math I won't understand? I'm here to tell you it's actually much simpler than you think. And the best part, it can help your investments grow while you sleep. That's right, your money can be working for you even while you're catching some Z's. How awesome is that? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what compounding is, but you'll be ready to harness its magic to grow your wealth, whether you're just getting started with investing or you've been at it for a while. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's talk about how to make your money work for you. Day and night. So what is compounding? So let's break it down. What exactly is compounding? Well, at its core, compounding is the process of earning returns on both your original investment and the returns that you've already earned. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger. That's what happens to your money when it's compounding. To put it simply, your money makes money, and then that money makes even more money. Let's start with an everyday example that's a little easier to wrap your head around. Imagine you've got a jar in your kitchen where you throw in loose change every day. Maybe it's just a few cents here and there, but over time the jar starts to fill up. You didn't add a huge amount of money all at once, but by contributing regularly, your savings grew without you even thinking about it. Now, take that concept and apply it to investing. When you invest money in something that earns interest, like stocks, bonds, or savings accounts, your initial investment grows. But here's where the magic happens. As your investment earns interest or returns, that money also starts to earn returns. And if you leave it alone and let it keep growing, the effects become exponential. That's the power of compounding. Let's say you invest $1,000 in a fund that earns an average of 8% per year. In the first year, you'll earn $80 in returns. But in the second year, you don't just earn on the original $1,000. You earn returns on $1,080, and so on and so on. Over time, this snowball effect leads to massive growth. And the best part, you didn't have to do anything but let your money sit there. I know what you're thinking. Sounds great, but how does this actually work with investments? Don't worry, we're getting to that, how compounding works in investments. Now that you get the basic idea of compounding, let's talk about how it works in the real world with investments. You've probably heard about interest before, right? Well, there are two kinds of interest that you need to understand: simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest is when you only earn returns on your initial investment. For example, if you invest $1,000 and get 5% simple interest per year, you'll earn $50 every year. No more, no less. It's consistent, but it doesn't grow beyond that initial return. But compound interest, that's where the real magic happens. With compound interest, you earn returns on both your original investment and the returns you've already made. So instead of earning $50 each year on your $1,000 investment, your returns grow each year, as your interest earns interest, and so on. Let me show you a quick comparison. Imagine you invested that same $1,000 with a 5% return. After 10 years with simple interest, you'd have $500. Not bad, right? But with compound interest, after 10 years, you'd have over $128. Not only did you make more, but the growth keeps accelerating over time. The longer you let your money sit, the more it grows. After 20 years, that same $1,000 with compound interest would grow to over $2,653, while simple interest would only get you to $2,000. The takeaway: the sooner you start and the longer you let your money grow, the bigger that snowball gets. The power of time. Now that you know what compounding is and how it works, let's talk about the most important ingredient for making compounding truly magical: time. Time is the key that unlocks the full potential of compounding. The earlier you start investing, the longer your money has to grow and the bigger your returns will be in the future. Compounding rewards those who start early, and it doesn't matter if you're in. Let's look at a quick example to show just how powerful time is when it comes to compounding. Meet Sarah and James. Sarah starts investing at age 25, putting $100 a month into an account that earns 8% per year. James, on the other hand, waits until he's 35 to start investing. He also puts in $100 a month and earns 8%. Here's the crazy part. By the time they both turn 65, Sarah's account has grown to almost $400,000. while James's account is just over $180,000. That's a huge difference, even though Sarah only started investing 10 years earlier than James Y. Because those 10 extra years gave Sarah's money more time to grow, to compound, and to multiply. The earlier you start, the more your money works for you. And that's the magic of time and compounding. So if you're thinking, I'll wait until I have more money, or I'll start investing next year, stop right there. The best time to start investing is right now. Even if you don't have a lot to put in at the moment, time is your greatest ally in building wealth. The sooner you start, the more you'll benefit from compounding. And that could be the difference between a comfortable retirement and financial freedom. The snowball effect. Now let's talk about one of the coolest things about compounding, the snowball effect. Remember how we talked about your money earning money, and that money earning even more money? Well, this process creates a snowball effect. The longer your money stays invested, the more it picks up momentum, just like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's small, but with time and consistency it grows larger and larger. And the best part, it happens automatically. At the beginning, it might feel slow. Maybe you're only seeing small returns on your initial investment. But if you keep going, those small returns start to compound, and soon you're seeing exponential growth. The snowball effect works because your returns aren't static. They build on themselves. If you reinvest the money you make from your investments, you're setting yourself up for future growth. Every dollar you reinvest becomes part of the snowball, and it continues to grow as long as you keep it rolling. Here's a real-life example. Let's say you invest $5,000 in a stock or mutual fund that earns an average of 7% per year. After the first year, your $5,000 has grown to $5,350. In the second year, you don't just earn 7% on $5,000, you earn it on $5,350. By the end of the second year, you'll have $5,024.50. It might seem like small numbers at first, but the longer you leave your money invested, the more powerful the snowball effect becomes. By the time you hit 20 or 30 years, that initial $5,000 could grow to over $38,000 without you adding another penny. All you had to do was leave it invested and let the magic of compounding and the snowball effect work in your favor. And here's where you come in. Think about it. What if you started your own snowball right now? What small amount of money could you invest today that could start working for you tomorrow? Drop a comment below and let us know how you plan to build your snowball. Whether it's $50 a month or $500, it doesn't matter. The key is to start rolling that snowball as soon as possible. And hey, if you're already investing, let us know how your snowball has grown over time. We'd love to hear your stories. The snowball effect is your ticket to long-term financial growth. And the best part is, you don't have to be a financial expert to take advantage of it. You just need time, patience, and consistency. Stick with it. Reinvest your returns and watch your wealth grow. Mistakes to avoid with compounding. Now that you're excited about the magic of compounding, let's talk about something equally important: the mistakes you need to avoid. Compounding can be incredibly powerful, but only if you let it work for you. And unfortunately, many people make common mistakes that can slow down or even stop the growth of their investments. But don't worry. We're going to go over these mistakes so you can avoid them and stay on the path to financial freedom. Mistake number 1, pulling out money too early. The biggest mistake people make is pulling out their money too soon. Remember, compounding is a long game. It needs time to work its magic. If you withdraw your money early, especially before it has had a chance to compound significantly, you're stopping the snowball before it's even started. Think of it like baking a cake. You wouldn't take the cake out of the oven halfway through, right? If you do, you'll end up with a mess. The same goes for compounding. You have to give it time to fully bake to get the best results. So unless you have an emergency, resist the temptation to pull out your investments early. The longer your money stays invested, the bigger your returns will be. Mistake number 2, not reinvesting your returns. Another common mistake is not reinvesting the returns you earn. Compounding works best when you reinvest everything, including the dividends, interest, or capital gains you earn on your investments. Let's say you earn $100 in dividends from your stock portfolio. If you spend that $100 instead of reinvesting it, you're missing out on future growth. That $100 could earn more returns if you keep it invested. Over time, those small amounts can add up to a lot. So make sure you're reinvesting your returns, especially if your goal is long-term growth. This will keep your money working for you. 247. Mistake number 3, focusing on short-term gains. One of the biggest traps new investors fall into is focusing too much on short-term gains. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of trying to pick the hottest stocks or timing the market, but that's not how compounding works best. The key to compounding is consistency. It's about steady, long-term growth, not trying to make quick money. If you're constantly moving your money in and out of investments based on short-term market trends, you're not giving your investments the time they need to grow. Remember, compounding is a marathon, not a sprint. Focus on long-term investments that will continue to grow over time, and avoid getting distracted by the ups and downs of the market. Mistake number 4. Paying high fees. Another silent killer of compounding is fees. Whether it's management fees from a mutual fund or transaction fees from trading, high fees can eat into your returns over time. Even small fees, when compounded over many years, can make a big difference in your final outcome. Let's say you're paying a 2% fee on your investments. That might not seem like much, but over 30 years, that 2% could cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lost returns. Fees are like a slow leak in a tire. You might not notice it right away, but eventually it can stop you from getting where you want to go. To avoid this, look for low-cost index funds or ETFs, exchange-traded funds, which usually have much lower fees than actively managed funds. The less you pay in fees, the more of your returns you get to keep, and the more your money can compound. Mistake number 5. Emotional investing. Finally, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is letting emotions drive your investment decisions. The stock market can be a roller coaster of highs and lows, and it's easy to get scared during downturns or overly excited during booms. But here's the thing. Emotional decisions often lead to bad outcomes. If you panic and sell your investments during a market crash, you're locking in your losses and missing out on the recovery. If you chase after the hottest stock because everyone else is, you might end up buying at the peak only to see it drop later. The best way to let compounding work for you is to stay calm and stick to your long-term plan. Don't let fear or greed guide your decisions. Remember, time is on your side, so trust the process and stay the course. Part 6. How to get started with compounding. All right, now that you know the power of compounding and the mistakes to avoid, let's talk about how to get started on your own compounding journey. Whether you're just starting out or looking to grow your wealth even more, there are plenty of ways to start using compounding to your advantage. And the best part, you don't need to be rich to start. Compounding works no matter how much money you have to invest. So let's break it down into actionable steps you can take today. Step 1. Start small, but start now. The number 1 rule of compounding is to start as soon as possible. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. And don't worry if you don't have a lot to invest at first. Even small amounts can grow into something significant over time. For example, if you invest just $100 a month at an 8% return, in 30 years you could have over $150,000. That's the power of time and compounding working together. So whether you can start with $50, $100, or more, the important thing is to get started. Don't wait for the perfect moment or think you need a huge sum of money. The sooner you start, the better. Step 2. Automate your investments. One of the easiest ways to take advantage of compounding is to automate your investments. By setting up automatic contributions to your investment accounts, whether it's a 401k IRA or a brokerage account, you can make sure you're consistently investing over time without having to think about it. Automating your investments also helps you stay disciplined. You won't be tempted to skip a month or pull out money for other expenses. It keeps your money working for you, building that snowball every month. Step 3. Invest in assets that compound. Not all investments are created equal when it comes to compounding. If you want to take full advantage of the magic of compounding, you need to invest in assets that have the potential for long-term growth. Stocks, for example, are one of the best ways to harness the power of compounding. Over time, the stock market has historically provided an average return of around 7% to 10% per year. This allows your investments to grow significantly over the long term. Index funds and ETFs are also great options. They're diversified, low cost, and have the potential to grow steadily over time. And because they're passive investments, they don't require a lot of effort on your part. Just set it and forget it. Step 4. Reinvest your dividends. If you're investing in dividend-paying stocks or funds, make sure to reinvest those dividends. This is a crucial part of maximizing the magic of compounding. Instead of taking the cash and spending it, reinvesting your dividends allows you to buy more shares, which will, in turn, generate even more dividends. It's like throwing more snow onto your snowball. The more you reinvest, the faster your investments will grow. Step 5. Be patient and stay consistent. Finally, the key to success with compounding is patience and consistency. Compounding doesn't work overnight. It takes time. But the longer you stay invested, the more powerful the effect becomes. Remember, wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. Stick to your plan, stay disciplined, and trust the process. Over time, your investments will grow, and you'll start to see the magic of compounding in action. Conclusion: the magic happens while you sleep. So there you have it, the magic of compounding. It's one of the most powerful tools you have for building wealth. And the best part, you don't have to be a financial genius to use it. All it takes is time, patience, and a little consistency. Whether you're just starting out or you've been investing for years, compounding can help your money work for you, even while you sleep. Remember, the sooner you start, the better. So don't wait. Start your compounding journey today, and watch as your investments grow over time. Your future self will thank you.